What's going on, everybody? Today we are going to be painting another simple lure painting pattern on this 2.5 inch splash mouth popper from Barlow's Tackle. If you guys get some of these, they do have them in several different sizes, so whenever you're adding them to the cart, make sure it's the correct size that you're looking for. The ones we're using today are 2.5 inches, and they do have the splash mouth where it's got that little slit in the mouth right there to splash water and makes air bubbles, all that fun stuff. Big reason for today's video being a simple lure painting pattern is I just got the Badger Extreme Patriot 105, so a new airbrush, nicest airbrush I've ever owned. Figured I've made enough videos I could justify throwing $100 at it. So I did run some paint through it this morning. I painted a couple shorts. One thing I noticed right out of the gate, because I'm used to using the Iwata Neo CN, is how much taller that trigger is on the Badger. So I'm trying to get used to that being so high because I'm used to my finger being a lot lower. So today's video is me practicing with the new airbrush. So far I really like it. I just got to get used to the new set of muscle memory. First color we're going to be doing on this bait is going to be a fluorescent red. I am going to be trying something a little bit new later on in the video that I've been wanting to try before. So it's going to be a simple pattern, testing out the new airbrush along with trying out something new on the paint pattern. So first color is going to be the fluorescent red, and we're going to cover the entire bait in a nice layer in that. If the blank you have is transparent, I would recommend doing a base coat of white first. That way your fluorescent color will really be vibrant and bright. So I'm gonna go and get this loaded up in the airbrush and we'll lay down this first layer of paint. Also, if there is any other airbrushes that you guys want to see videos on, or I can compare them or do breakdowns, anything like that, if there's an airbrush you guys want to see, let me know and I can try to get my hands on one and we can do videos with it. And for the record, I did add a drop of thinner. I did about 10, I accidentally did 2 or 3 drops of the reducer, and so I did 10 drops of this to keep it from being too thin. And we're shooting just over 20 psi. I'm gonna hit this with a hairdryer, and then there's a couple spots that look kind of thin, so I'll hit those with the second layer of the paint. Boy, this color is a loud color. All right, next color up is a Wicked Colors, and it is Wicked Laguna Blue, I think is how you say that, Laguna. Let me know if I'm saying that wrong. Pretty color, and I think it should pair well with our bright red we got going on here. Game plan with the blue is I'm going to try to cover kind of like the whole gill plate area. We'll try to get it pretty close to a solid blue up by the eyes and then have it fade into our red. Should get kind of a cool looking purple color. We're then of course going to be covering the back of the bait in the blue and letting that fade onto the side. I really don't want much of it to come down past the center line that's on the bait there. So we'll try to keep it on the top and let it fade, but we will be doing a black back later, so I want enough of that blue coming down the side that our black won't cover it all. I got that loaded up in the airbrush, and we're gonna go down with our first layer now and see how it looks. It's a pretty thin color, so it might take a little bit to get it to show up on there. think I'm gonna call that good there. This red, and now with our blue, is really tripping out my eyes. All right, gonna clean out the airbrush, and we're gonna move on to the next step. With the bait nice and hair dried, we're going to be taking it off of our helping hands. And the game plan, like I said, I haven't done this on a bait yet, but we're going to be trying it together today. What I'm going to do is take our little dot tools. If you guys don't have any of these, I highly recommend getting them. Comes in a little variety pack with different size dots on there, so it makes adding little dots to the bait easy. Barlow's Tackle has this set, so if you're getting some blanks, you can pick these up from them. If you're looking elsewhere for them, like Amazon or stores or craft stores, they might be called nail art dotting tools. That's the first set I bought, was those. But like I said, Barlow's Tackle does have them, so if you're getting blanks, get you a pack of these too. What we're going to be doing is I want to put as many dots as close as I can together up on the face and along the back. But as we start getting into about the middle of the bait, I want to have the space of the dots start getting wider. So there'll be fewer dots up the back and as many dots as we can get crammed up to the front. So hopefully it'll give us kind of a cool effect. I think it might be similar to that, to stippling, if you've ever seen that type of art. If you do know what I'm talking about when it comes to stippling, something else I've always wanted to try, I just haven't committed an entire day to it yet, is not using the airbrush other than maybe like a base layer, and then all the rest of the colors on the bait would be done with dots, just like stippling art. It might be pretty cool. It would take me forever, but if you guys want to see that, let me know in the comments below. We'll have to do like a big swim bait or something like that. Color I've chosen is going to be a transparent black. Picked the black because I figured it would stand off the best on top of these two colors, and then we'll know if this is worth doing or not. I'm going to start right up here on the gill plate, and we'll just go back from there. All right, I'm gonna hit this with the hair dryer. All right, and I think now I'm going to, we were using this side, I'm gonna switch over to this side, which is a little bit smaller, try to add some more small ones in on the front. What do you guys think? I have one little oopsie right there. Actually, I'd probably hair dry this real quick. Trying to decide, I really like the way the front of it looks and the top of it there. And then, I don't know, the fade didn't quite look how I was imagining it. So I might just go ahead and do spots like that all the way down. If anybody thinks it should stay like this, you might be getting ready to get disappointed. I think I'm gonna go ahead and do it. I'm just gonna cover the whole thing in dots all the way down, because that looks really, really cool up there to me. And the whole top right there. And that just kind of looks like somebody sneezed a few dots on there and then gave up. So I'm gonna go ahead and go for it. The fade didn't quite look like I was thinking. Maybe if it was a bigger bait and I had a lot more dots, we might be able to get that, achieve that effect. But I think with how small this one is, it just looks like I gave up halfway through. So here we go, full dotted out bait. Please enjoy this time lapse. There we go. One fully dotted out 2.5 inch popper. I might go back in and add some more little ones, so if it looks slightly different between now and the final shots. But I'm literally seeing dots. I'm really struggling to figure out what color of eyes to put in here. I held some red ones up to it and they didn't look very good, and I got these blue ones, but the blue ones blend way too much. So I think we're just gonna have to go with some like real dark black ones. Get them to stand off a little bit more maybe. Nope, those blend really bad too. Let's see. I think these might be too big. These are cool looking black ones. I think we can make those work. I think regardless of which color I put in here, it's gonna blend with all the dots. So we'll just go with these fellers. Close enough. There we go. That is a simple lure pattern, as long as you don't mind doing a bunch of dots. I think I will go ahead and add a couple more small ones in there, because it still kind of looks a little bit thin on the back. Even did the bottom and the mouth. So I will add those couple more dots. We'll get some clear coat put on this bad boy, and then we'll come back and take a look at what it looks like all finished up.